Hello, Facebook. Hello, August 1st, Sunday, August 1st. Welcome, welcome. If you're tuning in on Facebook, you're catching this live possibly, or on the replay, and on YouTube, always the replay. So, just my camera there. Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon. It is 2 minutes after 12. 2 minutes after 12 noon. And it is beautiful out today. I've not gotten a chance to go run yet or cycle because I woke up today and my phone died. My phone actually crashed and I was unable to open anything on it, and it just kept circling, turn on, turn off by itself, go on and off by itself. And so I just was on the phone for about an hour, almost 2 hours with Apple Care. But my phone is back working, so that's how I woke up today, and that's what I've been doing in my office. Let's see. Then my live notification, Jamie, did you get a live notification yet? Not yet, right? Yeah, nobody's really on yet. Oh, there it goes. There's the one notification. So, and there's a sound check. All right, perfect, everybody. So just, I know it's a beautiful day out, and people, you probably aren't near your phones or computers or things like that. You're probably enjoying the day. We are, like I said, I'm getting ready to go out and run here in a few minutes. Jamie already did her run. I'm actually going to cycle today. I'm going to cycle today. I am, the first thing this morning that I, why is my Spotify opening on that phone? Uh-oh. Oh, my old phone is going crazy like it used to do. All right, so my old phone that I had to get rid of or stop using just randomly does things on its own. So, all right, so let's see. We open at 3 o'clock today. Wine dinner tomorrow night. I think we're sold out, right, Jamie, the wine dinner?
We're sold out.
Wine dinner sold out, yep. $29 for 4 wines and a dish is a bargain. We're sold out. We're extremely busy. I don't even know how many reservations we have left tomorrow night, do we? We don't really have many. Very, very limited. Earlier. 5 o'clock is what we would have available tomorrow night, Monday night. And we are jam-packed. So I want to talk about something that is becoming more and more common these days. So the reason I was anxious to check my emails this morning when I first got up, because I was expecting a bad review. I was expecting a bad review from guests that I kind of told them how it is. And, they weren't expecting me to tell them how it is, and they were quite shocked. But this is becoming more and more common, folks. People are so impatient. You're going out to eat. Everybody's having a labor crisis. Everybody. One of the other restaurants here in town just posted a sign, right, Jamie? Be patient with us. Another restaurant here in town, right on their front there. Be patient when you go out to eat. There are people that are showing up to work, that are working for money right now, but there's not many of them, especially in the restaurant industry. Before the whole pandemic, the restaurant industry was tough to recruit people. Front of the house is much easier. They make a lot more money. Not a lot more, but they make more money. Back of the house, you're back there in a hot kitchen. You're working a lot of hours. You're making less money. It's one of those things you just have to really love cooking. You have to love the thrill of the kitchen to be able to do that. And there's not many people that are willing to do that and work that hard. So, in the restaurant industry, the pay rate, unfortunately, is not that great. A lot of restaurants are struggling financially, and they have been struggling financially pre-COVID, and that's why the pay rate is a lot lower than other jobs. So it's just the industry and that's what's going on, and people try to come in, non-restaurateurs, and they try to come in and open restaurants, and they say, I'm going to change this trend, and I'm going to pay my staff much more money, and this and that, and then they realize that equation doesn't work, and then they go out of business. So it's an unfortunate spiral, because a lot of guests are very conscious about the prices they spend in a restaurant, and they complain when the prices are too high. But you know what? You need higher prices to be able to pay your staff, and I learned this many, many years ago, to charge extra for this and that, because you need that money for your staff. You need that money for advertising. You need that money to operate. You need that money to survive. You need that money so you don't go out of business. And some people just don't get that. So good morning, everybody tuning in. Cheryl, Jennifer, William. If anybody else is on, just drop a comment, #live. So yeah, so it's becoming more and more common for people to be very impatient at restaurants. So here's what happened last night. I was walking up and down the block, and I saw people eating in another restaurant, and they came to us for dessert. They came to us for dessert, and they sat at the bar. They ate somewhere else. I'm assuming they had a good meal. So they came to us for dessert. So they're kind of hopping around. Jamie and I love to do that kind of stuff. We're gonna hop around and go from this bar to that bar to that bar. So they sat at our bar, ordered dessert, and they were already drinking because they had a bottle of wine or whatever else somewhere else. And so they walked in. I got them seated, and a little while later, like she goes, we're just sitting here with our water, and she's like, you can tell she's a little inebriated. She goes, we're just sitting here with our water. And then she says to Courtney, our daughter, she's like, we're leaving. And Courtney's like, well, you ordered dessert. They go, what'd they say? I think they said, we don't want it anymore or something, or it's been too long or something. Courtney's like, well, I'm pretty sure it's ready, so it's probably coming out of the kitchen any moment. They go, no, we're leaving. And they just walked out. So I walked out and followed them. And I said, excuse me, is everything okay? They go, took us 20 minutes we've been waiting for dessert. And I said, excuse me? They go, we've been waiting 20 minutes for dessert. And I said, you've been waiting 20 minutes for dessert? And I looked at him and I said, we're super busy right now. Like, the back is packed. We've been turning people away. The back is packed. I have 3 people in the kitchen that are busting their asses right now. I said, why don't come with me? Come with me. Let's go to my kitchen, and you look at my kitchen staff right now and tell them they're not working fast enough for you. I said, your dessert's actually ready. And Courtney said she was getting it. So your dessert's ready. I said, why don't you go back into the kitchen with me? Let's go back and tell them they're not working fast enough because you waited 20 minutes. I said, they were like, I said, the problem here? I said, the problem is you're entitled. You feel entitled. You walk into a place and demand things. It was only 20 minutes, and I don't even know if it was 20 minutes because people exaggerate. I said, I don't even know if it was a full 20 minutes. It seems like it was 20 minutes because you're waiting, but I don't even know if it was a full 20 minutes. And I said, the problem is you feel entitled, and they were like, you don't even know us. I said, I don't have to know you. I said, I don't have to know you at all. I said, the biggest problem is nobody ever tells you that. And nobody's ever told you that. To do what you just did is unacceptable. To walk into a restaurant and think that everyone's going to bend over backwards for you in a labor shortage, and you only waited 20 minutes, and your food is ready, and just be able to walk out and just say, you know what, we're done after your food. Like, who's going to pay for that food? Like you're not making the connection. So the problem is nobody's ever told you that before. So I was expecting they were going to write me a bad review. I have no problem admitting we're wrong on things. I have no problem, and my staff will tell you. Patrick goes like, Marcus, one of the reasons I've been here 3.5 years is that I worked all these other places. He goes, you stand up for us when we're right, and you also tell us when we're wrong, and so we hear both ends. But the thing is, you actually listen and then do an investigation, figure out what's wrong, and then and if it's a guess, because all guests are not right. And granted, that maybe should have been 15 minutes to come out, not 20 minutes, but we're packed. We're super busy. The back is packed. The kitchen staff is busting their butts back there. And for you to just get upset over 20 minutes and walk out, you could have said, we'll take it to go if it's not ready, or if it's ready, we'll take it to go. We have to get going, this or that. But just to walk out and say, we're out of here like that, and walk out with an attitude, I'm like, excuse me, like who gives you the right to do that? Like, who totally gives you the right to do that? And the problem is nobody's ever told these people. And it's just every restaurant owner that I talk to says it's getting worse. There was another restaurant owner in last night who loved everything, loved it, and he was in with somebody else in the food industry, and they're like, we it's tough, and the people's expectations right now are insane. It's like before expectations were high. Now that this whole COVID thing happened, this other restaurant owner was like, it's insane what people just expect. They expect you to bend over backwards, just that. They don't understand anything about the restaurant industry. They don't understand anything about a labor shortage. They don't understand anything about it, and the demands they make are ridiculous. And this is another restaurateur in Ulster County here. And I'm like, yeah, I'm right with you. I mean, it's worse than ever. It's just why is this so common now for people to do this? And folks, we don't set out, no restaurant owner sets out to say, who are we going to let wait today excess time? Who are we going to piss off? Who are we going to make their pen? If you've come to the restaurant lately and you've gotten turned away, like last night, we didn't do any takeout orders. We couldn't. We were too busy. For the amount of staff, the amount of tables we have, we were too busy and we could not do takeout orders. We turned away a lot of takeout orders last night. And people walk in and they go, what do you mean you don't have room for us? You have an empty dining room. Well, go in back and look at the 18 tables that are packed in the back, and then look at my small little kitchen. And if I sat you right now and you waited in excess of time, because I know you would wait in excess of time, then you're going to be really mad at me. But some of these people actually go online and say like 1 star, never went. You never went because you didn't make a reservation. You didn't call to make a reservation, and then you came and we turned you away. And you don't understand logistics, so now you go online and give me a bad review because of something like that. It's just it is, and this has happened more and more and more lately, folks. We're not magicians. We're not magicians. There's so many things that can go wrong in the food service industry, in the restaurants. I mean, it's as complicated as like flying a plane. Everything's got to be check to make everything go out smoothly. And one thing happens. Like, let's say a guest forgets to order something gluten-free. Well, but burger comes out. Oh, I never told you I'm gluten-free. Now that burger goes back to the kitchen. Now the chef has to stop what they're making for the next table. It's supposed to be going out to make this another burger over and get a gluten-free bun heated up, toasted up or whatever, and clear the line so you can do gluten-free. To now put off another table on hold for 4 or 5 minutes. And once that table gets put on hold for 4 or 5 minutes, 6 minutes, that whole cycle starts happening of trying to play catch up. And if one other person is off, one thing gets made wrong, something drops, a table's late for their reservation, a table's early for the reservation, a table all of a sudden says, we have to go somewhere. We need our food now. And you have to stop doing other table's food to move that. And that happens a lot. People are like, oh, we should have told you when we sat down that we could only be here an hour. That's a really common thing. We've tried to learn now to ask people, do you have to be anywhere, this and that, especially with the Shadowland. The Shadowland's opening up Blueberry Festival weekend. But we know if you're going to the theater, you've got to be out here in a certain amount of time. But people walk in when they go to the theater, and the theater is an 8 o'clock show, and 6 o'clock is when we recommend those reservations, and people never believe us. Like, what do you mean we need a 6 o'clock reservation? What do you mean we need a 6 o'clock reservation to eat at your restaurant? We're only going next door to the theater. We're going to eat quick. You're going to eat quick, but there's 60 people in the restaurant that are also ordering food that need to go next door to the Shadowland. What makes it think that you're just going to walk in an hour later than everybody else and eat before them and make it quick and then get to the theater? So people just don't understand how things flow in the restaurant industry. So, and these people, not only do they not believe you, but then they test you. They put you to the test. They'll make the 6 o'clock reservation knowing they're not coming at 6 o'clock. Right, Jamie? This happens a lot. They make us say, oh, yeah, okay, we'll be there at 6 o'clock, knowing they're not going to be there at 6 o'clock. They show up at 6:30. Meantime, everybody else has already ordered in front of them, right? Because other tables came in on time. So by the time we get to them, the menus are down, the food is ordered. Say something is set at 6:30. It's 7 o'clock. It takes like 20 minutes for this whole process to happen, right? Now, their food's not coming up for another 20, 30 minutes. Now all of a sudden it's 7:20, and they're raising their like, "Where's my food? I got to get next door. We can't eat and run," and that happens. That's been happening for years. So it's going to be interesting this year once the Shadowland opens and we have some theater goers coming in that are going to be in that same situation, because they just think, well, I'll just come in, I'll just eat and run, and I'll go next door. Yeah, you and 80 or 60 other people that want to do the same exact thing, you got to stand in line, unfortunately. So, which is one reason why we don't really book the restaurant full of theater goers, because it's actually a detriment. People say, oh my gosh, the theater must be so great for you. You must make a lot of money from the theater. And if we set everybody at 6 o'clock that wants to go to the theater, it's actually a major pain, and it's a detriment, and we will piss people off. Because if there's 15 tables that sat down and all 15 of you order, all 15 tables, 60 people, 55 people, whatever it is, the last 2-3 tables are going to seem extremely long because you just got behind 40 other entrees, 50 other entrees, and your 6 o'clock reservation is now turning into a 7:15 delivery of your entrees, and it's the way the kitchen flows. It's just what happens. So we've actually avoided seating theater goers all at one time, and it's like we'd rather not do all theater goers. And everybody's just like, man, you must make so much money from them. That's so great. You're next door to them. That must be so great. That must be so great being next to the theater. They've probably helped you all along, and it's no, it's kind of the opposite. If it's not spaced out right and we take too many of them, it's actually the opposite. It actually hurts our business. So, and the people that come in that aren't going to the theater are like, well, what do you mean my food gets like literally, like, if you're in that mix of 50 people, 55 people, and you're not going to the theater, tickets are flagged. So realistically, we know the people got to get next door, because if they miss curtain call, they miss curtain call. They're not letting them in. So unfortunately, tickets that are flagged get done first. And if you're not going to the theater and you sit down at 6 o'clock and you wonder why your food is getting pushed off because 40 other people need to go to the theater, it's not fair on that person. So we really, really, really try very hard and consciously to avoid these situations. And sometimes it's just unavoidable, but it's going to be interesting this year to see what's going to happen with the theater and people coming in. So we'll see what happens. We are only doing outdoor dining. Jamie, you weren't here last night because you were doing the catering event, but we had one table that walked in the door, and you took the reservation. I know you told them it was outside dining. They walked in and said, "Oh, we kind of don't want to eat inside tonight. We want to be outside. We see your garden. We want to be outside." And Courtney explained, "Well, no, we're only doing outdoor dining." So they went out and sat down outside, and then they complained. And they go, "Well, we thought we were going to be inside tonight. We're just going to go somewhere else to eat." And they got up and left. They just got up and left. We thought we were going to be inside, and it's uncomfortable outside. And I know you told them there was outdoor dining. I know you did because you took the reservation. So, you just don't make a reservation at a restaurant and just decide like just to get up and leave. Like, we could have used that Ford top for somebody else that we could have made money to pay my staff more, to pay my staff, or to cover payroll, or to cover expenses. Like, 4 people lost at $45 a person. That pays somebody's shift for the day, right? That pays something. But just to feel like, and they were told outdoor dining only. And they walk in and they go, we want to be outside. We don't want to be inside. We didn't know you had outdoor dining, because somebody, then they started complaining. And they were, "Oh, no, we're not staying." They got up and just left. Crazy how things work. Gene King saying, "I think you helped the theater." Thanks, Gene. In the very, very beginning, and even now to this day, when we first opened, there was no restaurants in Ellenville to go out to eat. And you have the theater 3 doors next door. So it was great that the theater goers could come to the restaurant and spend the night in Ellenville, as opposed to eating in High Falls and Rosendale and then driving to Ellenville. So there was a lot of synergy with us and the theater, especially in the very beginning, because it did help the theater. It did help people come to Ellenville. It helped people, say we can go to Ellenville for dinner and the show, as opposed to eating somewhere else and then driving in. So it was a big, big benefit. So now all the other restaurants are in town here. So it helps out. So the whole dining scene in general helps out. So it's really a great thing. Anything else, Jay, I got to mention?
No, I think you did a good job today.
Yep. I really shocked those people last night. I wish you would have saw that. I really shocked those people to tell them they weren't expecting. First they were speechless, and they said, "You don't know us." Like, I don't have to know you, but what you did was totally wrong. So, all right, that's it. I'm going to go for my bike ride now, or my run, whatever I'm going to do. And that's it, folks. Everybody have an amazing, amazing day, and we'll hope to see you soon.